Hey, it's Shane from GotRom.com. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to build lean, athletic muscle on a vegetarian diet and using intermittent fasting. Stay tuned. I've been eating a vegetarian and plant-based diet since 2018. I've also been experimenting with intermittent fasting for over 10 years. My goals are pretty simple. I want to be healthy, lean, muscular, strong, and I don't want to harm any living beings based on my food preferences. Now, this isn't a video about if you should be vegetarian or vegan. This is a video for those that have already chosen that lifestyle and want to build lean, athletic muscle. So, let's go. Key number one is the protein principle, aka you gotta eat enough protein. But how much protein do you actually need on a vegetarian diet? In the Protein Book, a complete guide to protein for athletes, nutrition expert Lyle McDonald's gives us these recommendations. As you can see, the amount of protein you need to maintain muscle mass and recover better depends on several factors. It depends on your gender, your sport, and whether you're dieting or not. For me, I find that to get enough protein to sustain intense weight training on a vegetarian diet, I need to supplement with protein powders. I use a combination of whey and plant-based protein powders from a variety of companies. This, combined with eating a bunch of protein-rich plant-based foods, gives me more than enough protein for my needs. Key number two to building lean muscle on a vegetarian diet is the fuel principle, aka you gotta eat enough calories. The rule of thumb for how many calories you need to eat out there on the internet is generally your body weight times 15. That'll get you in the ballpark of what you might need for your maintenance calories. To be much more specific and factor in your age and your activity levels and other factors, you can use these online calculators that I'll link here and in the description of this video. But remember, any number is just a starting point. Monitoring your body weight, your body fat, your body measurements like the circumference of your muscles, your strength levels, etc. will tell you if you're eating too much or too little. So don't get too attached to the numbers, but make sure you're eating enough. Lean muscle key number three is the Milo principle, aka the principle of progressive overload. I don't know if you've heard the story, but Milo of Croton was a 6-time Olympic champion who lived in the 6th century BC. As a young man, Milo is said to have gained his tremendous strength by carrying a calf on his shoulders each day for 4 years until it grew into a massive bull. As the young calf grew, so did Milo's strength. This story represents the first rule of strength training, the principle of progressive overload. In strength and conditioning, progressive overload is defined as a gradual increase of stress placed upon the body during training. In layman's terms, this simply means you should always try to lift heavier weights, or do more reps, or do more sets, or increase the time under tension by slowing the movement down, or increasing the range of motion, or decreasing the rest. The point is, always try to do more. Always try to progress at least one variable of progressive overload. There is one super important caveat here. Even if you always strive to make progress in one variable, remember, progress is never actually linear, and you should never sacrifice form for more weight. Also, what you do outside of the gym is just as important as what you do inside of the gym. AKA, how's your sleep? How's your stress levels? How's your nutrition? Remember, the best athletes train hard, but they recover harder. And of course, I have to throw this in as the mobility guy. If you're lacking any key ranges of motion, if you're too tight, too stiff, you're lacking mobility, this will cause you to get hurt at some point. If you're hurt, you're not in the gym. If you're not in the gym, you're not lifting weights. If you're not lifting weights, you're not doing progressive overload and getting stronger and not building lean muscle. So, in a way, in a very important way, your mobility and staying in the game for the long period, not getting hurt, is super important. So also work on your mobility. Lean muscle key number 4 is the fasting principle. Fasting is simply, in my mind, one of the easiest ways to not overeat. There's nothing magical or special about fasting or intermittent fasting. It's just a way of controlling your calories that's simple. But you do have to find the exact style of fasting that works for you and your lifestyle. For example, here are many of the styles of intermittent fasting that I've experimented with over the years. There's no magic in any particular style, as I said. What matters is that it fits you and your lifestyle. I personally choose to just skip dinner. I'm sure I could find a sexier term for it and invent a special diet that could sell for millions of dollars, but let's call it what it is. I'm skipping dinner. This helps me to control my overall calorie balance for the week, which is really what ultimately matters. So that's it. 4 key principles to building lean muscle on a vegetarian diet using a little bit of intermittent fasting. For me, this is the fastest, easiest, and most sustainable way of eating that I can see myself sustaining for the rest of my life. When you add in heavy resistance training and progressive overload, you have the perfect recipe for building lean, athletic muscle. I hope that video is helpful. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.